Hello, everyone, and welcome to another great episode of the Gridiron Glory here, where we talk all things January football. And for this one, we actually have a Christmas Day matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Chiefs, they get the win; they go to 15-1, the best record in the NFL for the two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Um, Patrick Mahomes, there was some question about would he play, how much would he play, because he had that minor injury. He did end up playing. He goes 29 of 38 for 320 yards, three touchdowns. He didn't get sacked once. One of his better games of the year. He's actually not having one of his best years statistically, but this was one of his better games. Where he carved up a well-respected Pittsburgh defense. They were not on their game in this one. Patrick Mahomes, like I said, the best game. You get the touchdowns to Travis Kelce, 8 for 84 and a touchdown. Xavier Worthy, 8 for 79 and a touchdown. Justin Watson also had a touchdown catch, a 49-yard catch. So big moments there for the Kansas City Chiefs offense, kind of breaking out of their slump. You get up to 29 points. You clinch the one seed, so now you can rest all your starters in the next game. So a big way for the Chiefs to take care of business and do what they have to do to get past the Steelers. Their defense did a fine job. Justin Reed, a big interception, some big sacks as well by guys like Tershawn Wharton, George Karlaftis out of Purdue. Um, and then you got one of the better quarterbacks in the league, Trent McDuffie, with his four tackles and his one pass deflection. And I do have to ask, where would you rank Mr. McDuffie amongst quarterbacks in the league, the third-year player out of Washington?
An upper echelon corner that can provide a very profound sense of leadership and athleticism on that defense.
Yeah, certainly one of the better players on the defense. Does what he has to do there. Yeah, this is just their team. They find a way to just kind of like if you could say that there's a two-time Super Bowl champion defending that's 15-1 that's kind of flying under the radar. It feels like the Chiefs are kind of flying under the radar. Like everyone's talking about what Buffalo's doing, what Baltimore's doing, what Detroit and Minnesota in the NFC are doing. But I mean, the Chiefs, they come here and they just keep winning. So here they are, and I mean, obviously the playoffs are going to come, and the Chiefs we've seen what the Chiefs have done in the playoffs. Will they be able to continue to do what they've done? I mean, I think that question is on the forefront of everyone's mind. Will they just be able to do what they do in the playoffs? And what's your take on that?
Um, well, I'm excited that the Chiefs are not playing their starters next week. I'm very excited about that. Though, I mean, being a Denver fan, I'm excited about it, but I can't just like it's not a guaranteed thing.
Sure.
Like, I mean, you still have to go out there and you still have to play the game. I mean, it's the NFL. Um, the Broncos will be playing their starters, so
I mean, all the pressure is on the Broncos, though, for one.
yeah. So for the Steelers, I mean, what a disappointing showing. I mean, you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. To me, it's like you had to compete a little harder in this game.
Yeah, you want to see them compete a little harder at home. Christmas Day, you get a big crowd out there hoping to see you play a competent game of football, and then the Chiefs they kind of just come and they kind of just do their thing. You get the two touchdowns early in the game, and then I mean Pittsburgh they do what they can to make it a game, but the Chiefs they just close it out well. They execute, and yeah, just not enough from the Steelers, though that one rushing touchdown by Russell Wilson, that was a nice play. But other than that, just they didn't execute enough.
They didn't execute. Five sacks allowed. So the offensive line didn't really help out Russ much in that regard either. Just not enough getting involved. For Russ, it's like maybe spread the ball out a little bit more based on the stat chart. But yeah, it was just, I don't know. You kind of figured like the Chiefs rose to the moment way more than the Steelers did.
For sure.
And yeah, I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs are completely okay resting their starters against their division rivals, which speaks volumes to where the Chiefs are at versus to, I mean, the Steelers are still going to do good in the playoffs, but okay, like we said it in preseason with all AFC teams that we're going to be high contenders. It's like, it looks great. It looks flashy. How can you beat the Chiefs in the playoffs? That's the question for the AFC teams. So if this is what I'm seeing now, like, yeah, sure, Pittsburgh, you could win a playoff game or two, but what happens if you meet the Chiefs again? That's what I'm seeing right now. It's not a good look.
Definitely a disappointing showing here in the regular season. And I mean, at this point, they'll probably be getting either something like a 5 seed or a 6 seed. So that means you're probably looking at either Houston or Baltimore in the first round, unless they find a way to win the division, unless the Cleveland Browns upset the Ravens as an 18-point underdog. But more likely than not, they'll be on the road against a team like Houston, against a team like Baltimore in the first round. They wouldn't be favored in either of those games, I don't think. But so that's going to be like, can you even win a game in the playoffs? That's the question for me with Pittsburgh. I mean, in the past, it was, can they beat the Chiefs? But first, can you win a game? And I
Right.
mean, the way they played on Christmas Day, I mean, like you said, that's not what their fans were hoping to see.
No, definitely not. Like, I mean, and this is a rich and historic franchise with the Steelers
Yeah.
and like their fans, and like a lot of their fans are very, like they have a very historic fan base. So yeah, they didn't want to see that on Chris. I mean, there was probably lots of
No.
Steelers fans all around the country watching this, hoping for a better Steelers performance, and that didn't happen.
True.
So yeah,
And I
hate
mean,
to see it.
maybe you don't even win, but I mean, you'd just like to see them compete a little better. I mean,
Right,
still some hope. There was no hope whatsoever in this game.
right.
So, like you said, a big loss there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And next week they have a fairly big game on Saturday night. They'll be hosting the Bengals. Maybe they'll be playing for a division title. Maybe they won't be. They'll know the Ravens play before them, and if the Ravens win, they clinch. But they'll be hosting the Bengals. The Bengals need to win the Steelers. They could win to improve their seeding, so that's what they have to look forward to. And meanwhile, the Kansas City Chiefs will be playing the Broncos on the road, as you mentioned. With the 1 seed clinched, they will not be playing starters. Denver, obviously, they need to win.
Yes, they need to win. So yeah, Chiefs win 29-10. I didn't really have any other final thoughts or takes.
Yes, thank you everyone for watching the Gridiron Glory, and please continue to like, subscribe, and follow throughout the end of the NFL season. Thanks for watching.